Today's problem is to add two lists. The two lists are given as 549 and 555. In the numbers, the representation is 945 and 55. If we add this, the resultant will be 1000. If you want to display it as like this, we can make a list in one way, or if we want to represent this as this, we can form a list in one way. Any case is fine, but how we add the list is what the logic here. The algorithm that we need to follow is very simple. It's just like an addition, but we should be very careful in handling few edge cases. So if you are like, this contains 3 digits and this contains 2 digits, we need to add these two and have a carry here. 5 plus 5 is 0 and 1 needs to be carried here, and this should be the node, and then we need to add the data of this node and this node and carry. So this will be again 10 0 and carry will go here, but there is nothing here, right? So we need to make sure that we'll have to continue the loop. Either of this is not null, we need to continue till, because there is a chance that we will be having a carry to carry forward. So here 1 and 1 plus 9 is 10, again 0, and there is nothing but 1 left. So what we need to do, 1, and we need to append that 1 to list. So all these are the edge cases. If any resulting, for suppose this is not 9, if it is 8, then there is no carry, this will be 900, right? So the result will be 0. We need to check all the cases. If result is greater than 0 and there is something that left and which we need to add to the resultant list, and how far we can traverse through these, and is there any way that we can append directly all these cases. So the algorithm is simple, but when it comes to the implementation, a little tricky. I'll write the code and I'll explain it clearly when I write the code. So I'll name the method and it will return the last dummy node. So one thing is like, we will have a global variable public static dummy node. This is of type node. Initially that is null, so that we keep the the results of addition, we keep attaching to this dummy list. That is a resultant list. Okay, node add list, you will be given two lists. Let's suppose we have P1 and P2 as heads for those two lists. Initially we will have a result that is 0. Okay, what we need to check, we need to continue to the loop. Either of them is not null, right? It's not AND but OR. If P1 not null or P2 not null, we need to do this loop. The check, we should be very careful. If either of the null and we try to add the data of that, the null reference exception will be thrown. So we need to check every time we do any operation on these two pointers. So if it is not equal to null, then only we have to add the data to result. P1 dot data. What I mean is, if for suppose P1 becomes null when it comes to an end, and if you don't check this and directly write result equal result plus P1 dot data, then null dot data is nothing is there, so null reference exception. So we should be very careful when we check all this. The same thing, That is the reason why we will have to split this result operation in 2 steps. Now comes to the carry. If it is greater than or equal to 10, the carry comes. If it is less than, there is no carry. So we need to check that. Greater than or equal to 10, then we'll make I'll write this function, but for now let's name it as make dummy list of result of modulo 10. Okay, else make dummy list of result. That is a step. And now we need to result equal to result by 10. For suppose if it is single digit, we need to make the result to 0 again. If it is not less than 10, then we need to retrieve this one as a carry to the next addition. And again moving the pointers, if this particular pointer is not null, then only we have to move to the next. If it is null, then again null reference exception. So every time we need to check, we have to check it carefully. P2 equal to P2 dot next. Okay, this is all done. So in the final, as we have discussed earlier, if there is anything left in the result, that needs to be added to the dummy list. If result is greater than 0, then again make dummy list of result and return dummy head. So what is this dummy list do? This dummy list do the operation of adding the nodes to the dummy head. So how you want to add is your wish. For if you want to have the final result as 1, then the dummy list addition should go till the end and then add nodes, because we start with 0 here. If you keep adding the nodes to the front, the resultant will be like this. If you, and the initial one is 0, if you add to the tail, the resultant will be like this. It depends. I want to print it this way, because this looks very clear that the addition would result in 1000. If you want, we can implement either of them, that's fine. So the make dummy list method will be like this. So you just take a node, new node, you are creating a node out of this data and start adding. If the very first thing, if dummy head is null, then the new node will becomes a dummy head. If that is not the case, I'm adding to the head side, not the tile side. That will be little easier than nothing more. New node dot next equal to dummy head, and dummy head equal to new node. That's it. It will give us this one. If you want this one, then you will just have to traverse to the till dummy node dot next is not null. Once it is not null, then we'll just dot next equal to new node. That's it.